Hey y'all, it's Natural. I am here, and today I have some tips and today I have some tips and tricks for a vacation in Las Vegas. Okay, so a little bit about our trip. My husband and I went to Las Vegas on Christmas. Some of you probably already know that if you watched my Christmas tag video. We booked our trip through cheaptickets.com. We got two nonstop flights to and from Las Vegas, flying out of Nashville, and 3 nights at the MGM Grand for $590. To me, that is an awesome price. $590 is like the price of 2 flights alone. So we were really happy with the price. We flew the airline Frontier. It was our first time flying Frontier. It's pretty cut and dry. There's no bells and whistles, but they have excellent rates. And because we were military, we got our bags checked free, and our bag was overweight. Like, our bag was 70 pounds, and we brought one bag. We put all of our stuff in one bag, and we got it checked for free because we are military, and we were really happy about that. Secondly, we stayed at the MGM Grand. It is on the south end of the strip. The MGM Grand is like one of the biggest hotels in the world. I mean, it's giant. When we got there, I used the $20 trick to get us an upgrade, which it worked. It's where you take a $20 bill and put it between your ID and the card you're going to be putting on file for incidentals, and you ask them if there are any complimentary upgrades, and the girl knew exactly what I was trying to do. She gave us a bigger room. It had a tub, and it was really nice. Let's see. The MGM Grand is known for like boxing matches, and right now they're showing David Copperfield, and we weren't really interested in either one of those shows, so we didn't get downstairs to see any of these shows at the MGM Grand. But overall, it's a nice hotel. We weren't like, oh my goodness, but it was a nice room. We were satisfied with it. First tip, plan for the security deposit. Next time we go to Las Vegas, we will just be bringing a credit card that's just to do the security deposit, because they do put a hold on your card. So we're just gonna have a card that we use for hotels, just something that you could give them so they could put the hold on it, and it goes right back on there unless you run up a bill in the room, order room service, which we never do. So next time we go to Las Vegas, we're just going to definitely have a card that we don't use for anything else other than just giving it to the hotel for incidental, so it doesn't tie up your money on the card that you're going to be eating and shopping with. So that was my first tip. Get a separate card that you're not going to be eating and shopping and entertaining yourself with for the deposit. Second thing, resort fees. All of the hotels on the strip have a resort fee. The fancier the hotel, the higher the fee. At the MGM Grand, it was $35 a day. So if you stay in 3 days, that means you got $35 times 3, which you will have to pay once you leave the hotel. Bring your own mini bar. My husband and I, we brought our own mini bar. We bought 15 small bottles of liquor ranging from Ciroc. We bought some Hennessy. We brought some Crown. We brought mixers. We bought champagne, and we brought some chips and cookies, just snacks for the room, just to get you through those in between times or those late night times where you feel a little munchy after dinner. So bring your own mini bar. And be careful if you go and grab stuff off of the mini bar that's in the hotel room. They're weighted. So if you pick up something more than 1 minute, you probably will be charged for it. But make sure that if you do pick something up, that you call them and say, hey, I was just looking at it, I put it back down. But be careful, because a lot of those mini bars are weighted, so they can tell downstairs if you pick something up. So just be careful with that. Next tip, wear for all my ladies or my guys, if you carry a bag, wear a cross-body bag. Do not try to walk around Las Vegas with a big old grandma bag, big old satchel, like we like to call it down south, on your elbow. Get you a smaller bag. I don't recommend like a tiny purse, because you can't fit your little mini bottles of liquor in it. Get a if you're gonna be, turning up, get you a nice size bag. You like that? Something crossbody, something that somebody can't come snatch off you and take off running, with a zipper. No flaps, no buttons, because you don't want no pickpockets getting to your coins. You don't want that. So crossbody bag. You need to wear, next tip, you need to wear some sneakers and some comfy shoes, because you'll walk no matter what. No matter what. These hotels were so big. Like, these hotels were like a mile or more wide. So just walking into one side of the building and walking out to get back out to the street, like, literally, you'll probably walk a mile. At least a half a mile. Like, it was crazy. Those hotels were huge. Which goes into my next tip. Try to stay in the hotel where your show is going to be. That way, all you have to do is go upstairs, get yourself together, get snatched. You can pregame all you want to in your room, and all you got to do is hit that button, go downstairs, and go to the theater that's in your hotel. If you do not, and you're staying at if you're trying to see Lady Gaga, that's all the way at the Wynn Hotel, that's all the way on the north end of the strip, and you're staying at the MGM Grand, you're gonna have to get dressed, go downstairs, get a cab, and catch a cab all the way down to the other end of the strip, which is gonna be about $20 plus the tip, because the cabbies don't play in Las Vegas. They're gonna ask you for their tip, and then you're gonna have to go inside, then you're gonna have to catch one all the way back. You don't want to do that. That's like an additional $30 or $40 on top of you already paying through the nose for some tickets to the show. And the only other alternative is walking, and you don't want to walk from one end of the strip to the other, nor do you want to catch the bus that's going up and down the strip, because you will miss your show. They gotta stop at every stop. Them buses are slow as ever, so you don't want to do that. So try to stay at the hotel of the show or the restaurant or whatever you are interested in Las Vegas. If you're trying to see a show, try to stay at that hotel or stay at a hotel that is next door to that hotel. So, for example, if your show is inside the Bellagio, the Cosmopolitan is like right next door, and you couldn't get in the Bellagio, or it's not in your budget, or you like the Cosmopolitan better, you can stay there and just walk, literally walk across the little drive and go into the show or the hotel to see your show. So that was the next thing. Let's see. Also, when you are looking for hotels, try to see if the hotel has a combination of high-end and low-end restaurants, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be paying $30 or $40 a plate of food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'd rather eat, a good breakfast, a good lunch for a cheaper price, and save and splurge at dinner. You don't want to have to, be limited to your hotel, or limited to having to walk or catch a cab to someplace far away to eat you a decent price breakfast. For example, like the day before we left, we found this Mexican restaurant inside of the mall that's attached to Planet Hollywood, and we went there for brunch, y'all. They had dollar Bloody Marys and like totally affordable Mexican food. It was so good, and the place of food was like, $7 to $10. I figure that's your pretty average for Mexican restaurants, at least around here. Those prices are comparable, and we were like, man, we should have came for breakfast yesterday. So just make sure that the hotel is giving you options. So along with that, make sure that you are planning where you want to eat, so you do not waste time wandering around Googling like we did. My husband is a vegetarian, so we can't eat everywhere. So I just kind of wait on him to figure out where we want to eat, because I'm not very limited to what I can eat, but he's a vegetarian, so we wasted a lot of time just saying oh, we'll find something on the way. Don't do that. Have an idea, do some research, and have an idea where the spot you're gonna be hitting up for breakfast, and lunch and dinner. Have some sort of idea what you're gonna be hitting up for breakfast. So, like, if you're a McDonald's person, you need to be figuring out if that hotel has a McDonald's, or is there a food court somewhere you can hit up real quick for breakfast, so you can keep it moving and don't waste time looking for where you're gonna eat. Or if you're more like of a sit down breakfast person, you need to find out where find a restaurant near you, figure out what's on their menu, try to find out what their pricing is so you can figure out what works for you. Next, just comment about Las Vegas. Contrary to popular belief, we did find very affordable drinks. When I was researching about Las Vegas and I was watching videos that talked about Las Vegas, all I kept hearing was, oh, drinks are so expensive, so expensive. We did not really experience that. Every time we got a drink, it was decent price. Some of the drinks was cheaper than it would be back home. For example, the Stratosphere, which is on the north end of the strip, has a drink special every hour starting at 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m. it was like Bailey's and Irish cream for like $4 or $5. Then at 7 o'clock it was mimosas for $3. It, like, every hour on the hour they had a drink special. There was always a drink special. Like I said, we went to this other Mexican restaurant for brunch. They had dollar Bloody Marys. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. I recommend that you at least have one fancy dinner during your stay. Food is food, but I recommend that you try to budget for one fancy dinner during your stay at one of these restaurants. I really wish we had done that. We did not get a chance to do that because we spent a lot of this time walking and we were just so tired at the end of the night. We just was like, let's go lay down. But Morimoto had a restaurant in the MGM Grand, and I really wanted to go try it out just because I am like obsessed with Kitchen Stadium, and he is on Kitchen Stadium on the Food Network. That is my man. I love me some Morimoto. But that's my recommendation. At least plan for one fancy dinner and budget like $200 to $300 for it. Because y'all, when I tell you these plates, when I looked at the menu, these plates was like $70. It was because these are celebrity chefs. So eat breakfast closer to the brunch hour. So for example, so you can get more options. So if you go to a buffet, go to the buffet closer to the lunch hour. So go, if you're trying to eat breakfast or you're trying to do brunch, go like 10:45, 11. Go closer to the lunch hour so you can have breakfast and lunch options. Like they'll still have the breakfast out, but you'll also have like chicken and everything else, other options, so you can have more choices. Next, ignore the car flickers. When you go down there, it is so, I just had to say, this was the most annoying thing about Las Vegas to me. Walking down the street and everybody and they mama trying to sell you a timeshare. They flicking cars with naked women. They flicking everything at you. They flicking flyers. They flicking cards for clubs. They trying to get you to come over here and get a free ticket to a show. If you get them 2 hours of your time so you can buy a timeshare to their hotel. That was the only thing. That was the thing that just killed me about Las Vegas. I hated that about Las Vegas. The car flickers and the people trying to tell you stuff. If they tell you, when you start running into them, and the first thing they ask you is, how long are you here? Or when are you leaving? We will always say, we leaving tonight. Because if I'm leaving tonight, I don't have time to sit up here and I don't have no time to give you. I'm leaving tonight. So it ain't like I could take advantage of your free ticket to your show anyway, because I'm leaving tonight. So don't waste your time. We would just be like, we leaving tonight. And just keep it moving. Now, there was one card that was flicked at us that I do think was worth it, and it did turn out to be worth it to us. It was a card for a Lyft driver. It was a card for a $50 credit for a Lyft, which is basically basically works the same way as Uber. So we got flicked. They flicked this at us, and we finally did take, because we passed about 20 people trying to flick this card at us. We should have went on and got it the first time. We used this. It's a $50 credit, so it was 5 different rides for $10. We used this on the last day to get back to the airport, y'all, and our ride turned out to be 89 cents with this card, with this Lyft credit. So it was 89 cents. We were like cracking up at, like, we was like, that is for real. Like, our ride is for real, 89 cents. Because it wasn't far, it wasn't a long drive from MGM Grand back to the airport. So we were stoked about that. We were so stoked. We gave the guy a great tip, because we just could not believe we just paid 89 cents for this taxi cab, or this Lyft car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up to the camera to see if maybe you guys, if you're going to Las Vegas, maybe you can go ahead and use that. As always, thank you for watching. If you are a new subscriber, thank you and welcome. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for continuing to watch my videos. Mwah. See you next time.